We got Trisscorp versus It's a Starman. This match just happened. And, well, sadly, I think we both saw it. So I think it's better when one of the commentators at least hasn't seen it.
I didn't see most of it. I only saw the very end, so there's a lot that I haven't seen. So I'm looking forward to. Apparently, this was an exciting one. I know it was close, and there were some twists and turns.
So Trisscorp, if you've been around for any amount of time, you've seen them in top 8 before, because they never miss top 8, because they're just so consistently very good at just about everything. 72% win rate. I guess the very first tournament, MT8, they joined and got 97th. And then after that, it was just bing, bam, boom. Up against It's a Starman that has some kind of win rate that I can't see anymore.
Yeah, sorry.
You're all on your own.
The stream is good, but your preview will be bad for a minute. Starman has 3 wins and 2 losses.
All right, that's pretty good.
But so that's actually inaccurate because they changed their name, so we have bad stats on them. They're actually they used to be called something else, Soundly Paranoid or something like that. Regardless, they actually have a lot of wins. And usually pretty good. I remember one year we were doing drafting players, just a little thing people do, draft players, try and get points to see who will win. And I looked at their stuff and I was like, wow, that's some good scores. So yeah, Starman's very good. Kind of like forgotten good because they don't talk a lot, but they're really strong.
Yeah, we got a couple people like that.
I heard you guys could use somebody who had not seen this race before.
Yeah, this will be exciting. You can say what a few times.
Oh, I will.
I've had to lie a couple times on a couple vodcasts.
To actually act surprised, or wait, what was
basically
the lie? Like
just
your height?
Yeah, just straight up just acting surprised at things I knew were going to happen consistently, like walking through puzzle solutions step by step that I already know the answer to.
You fooled me every time. I've never picked up on it, so props. I know we talk sometimes on here about people's anime superpowers, and I think I realized mine after rewatching some of the things that I commentated on. I think every time I've commentated, there has been a lead change. So that my anime power might not be playing games. It might be commentating and having a lead change happen. So maybe that'll happen again. I don't know.
Man, imagine having an anime superpower and it doesn't even work on your own matches.
It's a bummer.
Or maybe that's the whole thing. You start live commentating your own match to influence the results, and that's the hook.
That's how I learned to use my anime superpower. Thank you for the idea. I'll wait next year. That'll come in handy.
Training arc is it's set up. We got it.
Yeah, I mean, I won't bring up that there's probably a lead change in 80% of the matches.
Whoa.
We can ignore that and just say that it's all because of you.
Honestly, I think it's probably below 50%. There's a lot of matches where someone goes out in front and then that they never look back.
That's a good point. This year, I feel like there's been less of that. I feel like we've had a generally pretty. Part of it is that all the new players all got matched up together, and so, we've got a few dark horses though.
I think it speaks to generally the field getting good. There's starting to be a smaller gap in skill level between someone and the next closest person in skill level. So just naturally, as everyone gets better, races get closer.
Yeah, there's a few sort of don't have a ton of experience racing people, and then there's a few really, really good people, and then the middle is now pretty huge. There's now a big middle class in Mystery Tournament that is all pretty decent, and you might lose if you're not careful.
It's got to keep it exciting for the people that are usually in the top 8, just knowing that, hey, it's a possibility anytime. Could get knocked out by somebody you don't know anything about.
Yeah, we'll call that exciting.
You got to bring your A game.
Exciting,
you know?
in my opinion. Scary to maybe some others. You know, it depends what kind of person you are, I suppose.
That's true. I guess if you're not competing in the tournament, it's purely exciting.
Exactly.
I mean, we've seen it. I mean, we always make a big deal about the upsets that happen every year, but they happen every year. So I don't think we have any more or less craziness happening this year. But like,
Probably true.
we got Crankdud, Maurice, Okami of Games, and Cap and Drake all waiting in the losers bracket right now. Boney as well are like some big ones. Zex is down there.
Nico Jazz is down there. Lost to Drax, who we've seen only once or twice, but is like seems really strong.
And then I have to stop myself there, even though I'm tempted to read out like 20 more names of people who I think like maybe could have made top 8 this year, right? Like there's just so many people who are so good.
Yeah, I believe
Like,
Adam is still
of course, some of Cap and Drake and Maurice and Okami ended up in the lower bracket, right? Like, of course, they can't all go to top 8. There's like 20 people. They can't all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the things I like about watching these. You know, it's like you feel if like a game really jives with somebody, there can be an upset. And it's really, I mean, you know, there are people who are going to be better across the board, have a higher chance of jiving with games, but it's always fun to see somebody who just really clicks with something and just runs away with it, even if it's unexpected.
I see the Whitley in chat. They would maybe be the first one to claim blessings of RNG, just getting the sort of platformery games that they really want, and made the best use of it. Is sitting in winners 5.
Whitley is my vote for winning because they beat me at Archer McLean's Mercury, so the Whitley goes all the way. For all people know, I'm just a little bit worse than the Whitley, so I'm all for it. Let's see you make that win, Whitley. This is your year.
Ooh is going to be the winner of this match.
And I think we're ready to swap over to it. If I do this part. So here we are. The game is Mandew versus the Colorless Curse.
So this is it looks a heck of a lot like a Game Boy game, but it's actually a pretty new Steam release, just sort of harkening back to that era. And the music is good. We just saw a black and white, really pixely, teeny tiny game, and it was maybe not so compelling in terms of its aesthetic or whatever. This game looks pretty basic, but I think it sounds great, so we'll at least get some tunes.
Yeah, I mean, if it's literally just typing speed to jump in on the conversation in chat, that'd probably be rejected. For the same reason, like, chess would be rejected, because you might just be, like, good at chess, and it's like, it's not exactly testing, like, are you good at video games in general? It's kind of a very specific skill set. You might have spent hours and hours and hours grinding, so it's like a different sort of deal. But, I mean, it's always up in the air. Anyways, I think I'm ready. I'm going to try and be so fast. In 3,
I hope these racers are going to be so fast.
2, 1, go.
I hit the timer for you.
Thank you.
It's Mario.
And here we've got the game. I believe I'm the only one that tested this game this year, because it's just clearly a game that's gonna work. It's another one that's just so straightforward. Yeah, you're a little floaty, but you have control over your jump. It's not so much floaty, although it is. You just have a really high jump. And it's like Mario, and it starts out real easy, and it gets quite a bit harder.
Is the goal block a 1-up? Just came bouncing along. It's like a pot or something.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I'm like, why would it be a pot? That makes no sense. But like the Mario mushroom being a 1-up, we've all just accepted. Of course. Mushrooms. So
yeah, so this
complete
is
parody
a Steam game.
between the racers so far.
I'll see if I'll grab the.
You can bounce off of enemies and go really high. I don't know, based off of from what I watched of the race, that it's necessarily you can hold the jump button to bounce off of them super high, or if it's like a press at the right time sort of thing.
I'm pretty sure it's hold, because I remember liking this game.
Yeah, you do end up jumping on a lot of enemies, so
yeah,
it's important for that to be a consistent thing.
Yeah, but in general, I think this takes a lot of inspiration from Super Mario Land 2. We get to see Starman get some Steam achievements. That's awesome.
I know Trisscorp explicitly turned those off before the race, like asked how to do it so that it wouldn't bother. And I was like, would it really bother you so much? And then when I watched this race and the achievements pop up, they make like a noise and they take up like 33% of the screen. And I was like, oh yeah, that's genuinely annoying.
But yeah, already, like, I like that this game doesn't take too long to start giving you some levels that you actually have to try, and, those apples, they'll get you.
It got Trisscorp a couple times. It's the Starman with like a third of a level lead or something so far.
Deaths pause the in-game timer, so unfortunately, not going to be able to use the in-game timer to say who wins in this one, but luckily we have our own.
We came prepared.
we did.
We planned for this in our tournament where we measure how fast people go. We got a hammer now. The hammer can hit stuff in front of you, including blocks, which is something the fireballs can't do, because otherwise fire would just be way better.
Yeah, so this is, I guess you're Mandew, who I think is also the developer. This is
sense.
Mandew, and then when you get Super Mandew, you get more hair. And then Mandew has various other jobs that he can perform with other power-ups. Yeah. There's Fire Thrower, which is one of my favorite jobs. There's Burger Flipper, and there's perhaps Construction Worker.
And Rabbit.
Yeah, the carrot analog, Simple Sarah, is a carrot. And it does the same thing that the carrot does in Mario Land 2.
Yeah, I didn't want to be super derivative of being like, oh, it's like Mario, right? Because, like, I don't know, it's a Game Boy platformer where the things are in blocks. Like, of course, it kind of looks like Mario, but it looks like everything. And then you threw those fireballs, and I was like, that's pretty Mario. But when you pick up a carrot and get bunny ears and use them to float through the air, I was like, all right, you are now very Super Mario Land.
Yeah. I know it's called reductive sometimes, but at some point it's like it's the easiest frame of reference, and it's very clearly inspired.
We got a boss fight, and Trisscorp is coming in with a fire power-up that It's the Starman doesn't have. So now I'm wondering what the rules are in terms of how you do damage to bosses.
And I'm wondering, yeah, it looks like It's a Starman jumped on top of the boss's head. I kind of would have been scared that those points up there would have been spikes.
Yeah, that's true. But you got to do something. There's no way like you have to have a power-up.
That's true.
In general, and I think I've seen a lot more people fail due to not trying something than fail due to trying something. I think you wanna try stuff. If you have an inkling, like maybe this will work, you should probably give it a shot if the game has a reasonable continue system in a mystery race.
Oh, was that a Game Boy Advance that came down at the end? Let's take a look on Trisscorp's screen.
I'm ready. Starman ahead, by the way.
It's a Game Gear? What does Game Gear look like?
It looks kind of like that.
Yeah. It's a Nomad. It's a
Oh,
It's a game
here
com.
it is. It's a Pokemon Mini.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon Mini right there. So the ears are very powerful. They do the same thing that they do in Mario 2, which I've never actually played, but my understanding is you tap it and then you float. Is that correct?
Yeah,
is it the
it's
same
this.
thing? So the longer you can hold onto this ears, the better. One thing I noticed when playing this game, I wasn't racing anyone when testing it, so I just kind of have to imagine what it would be like if I was. And I thought, like, if you can keep power-ups, you're really going to get an advantage in a lot of levels in this game.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Trisscorp is flying over as much of the level as you can.
Yeah, both players, you'll see them make decisions on, like, when do I touch the ground and jump again. And It's a Starman seems more willing to reset and touch the ground, and Trisscorp overall seems more willing to fly. Leaves these 2 blocks here, and it's going to hit both enemies from below to take them out, so you don't have to wait. I'm not sure if that was just kind of how it worked out, or if that was some good heads-up thinking. Whereas Trisscorp hits all these blocks, and now these guys are in the way. But then is going to use the bunny ears to go all the way around, so like making the best of a bad situation.
I like that decision, actually. Because even if you wait for those cactus guys, you can't jump on them, clearly. Like, that's a spike. That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you've got the bunny ears, that's one where you don't mess around and try things.
It's all contextual.
So we've got these... They're not exactly Yoku blocks. They remind me of the blocks in King Knight's stage in Shovel Knight, where you open the book, and then they just, like, appear for a little while. And some of the timing on even these first ones are pretty tight.
They're ridiculously tight. Like, I couldn't believe... So when you jump on it, you bounce off of it, and that can be kind of awkward because you're trying to land on a platform that just appeared. Like, look at this. It's so short.
And it doesn't look like it resets after if you hit it a second time. It doesn't look like it resets. It's like you hit it the first time, then you have to wait till it goes away.
You do.
Correct.
Absolutely.
So Trisscorp trades out, like, it goes up to a secret high place for a power-up, trades out the ears for the hammer, and I was like, I was like, you're gonna need this hammer, and then loses the hammer. But it turns out, like, I don't really know exactly what the hammer's good for. The bunny ears are still really good, and probably would have been the best thing to keep.
Yeah.
I think got baited a little bit.
Trisscorp didn't know what the hammer did, so I mean, it's nice to know, because it might have been a hammer throw, which hammer throw, I don't know. That's got to be better than having to walk right up to people and jump on their heads.
Yeah.
Oh, I want that to be a new quote in the quote bot.
Hammer throw? I don't know. I got that on the back of my car.
The back of your car is getting really busy.
I know. It is only the second time I've actually said that. It was just that one other stream in this one, but I know Nick was also there, so I get called out.
Well, there was 2 on that stream, and now there's a third one.
I don't remember what they were now, but they weren't good. Okay, I did this. Trisscorp got caught on that upper platform, and that's how I eventually got through that section. I couldn't get the timing down that Starman just got.
It's the switch, doubles back, and reaches the checkpoint. Gonna maintain the lead that they've had basically since the beginning of the race.
Yeah, so we can see no slouch. I would say the first world, it was all about, actually playing efficiently. At this point, you're gonna see a lot of people actually lose when the levels you can just drop through them and you've got these tight platforms. You have to actually think about not dying.
It's so hard to react to these platforms sort of clipping you up on top of them. Well,
I like that Trisscorp made use of that kind of accident from last time. Used it to save time.
Yeah, remembered right where that was, which is always impressive to me.
I never remember anything.
Short-term memory.
I do the same stupid jump into the same stupid enemy every time, like 5 times in a row.
I know, it starts to piss you off after a while. You're like, why am I still doing this? I always find myself saying to, like, my wife, if she's watching me play a game, I'm like, but this level isn't hard. He's like, well, you've done it like 10 times. It's like, no, but it's not hard. It's just me being really bad.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So I did a little research on the game. So from the developer, like many of my earlier titles, it's a little rough around the edges, but I sincerely hope you enjoy this wacky foray into a place close to my heart, the ribcage. And so I'm wondering if it's like a concept album and there are themes about a ribcage in here that I'm not picking up on. Have you guys noticed any ribcage themes?
There were skeletons in the last level, but in general, no. So one thing that's interesting is they're playing on race mode, which is cool that that's built in.
Oh, yeah.
Where, I remember you saying once that's actually your first name. So it's not that mode. It is the mode in which you have a timer and all the cutscenes and everything are skipped. So that's always nice.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Who knows what, ribcage details we're missing in the story in between levels.
I like
then
these,
maybe that's where it is.
I like these, like, saggy rice balls with, like, Jimbo from South Park hats on.
Yeah,
they're just very weird enemies. These levels asking a lot of the player. We're getting into, like, original Super Mario Bros. 2 territory. Where you actually have to use the enemies, and that's the only way over this gap.
Yeah.
Starman not making, amazing use of the bunny ears. It's hitting every enemy, right? Not skipping any of them.
Well, I'd be tempted because it's like, the developer made it in such a way that, like, you will be able to make these jumps without the bunny ears, and you could end up stranding yourself somewhere trying to, like, skip too much. But, I mean, maybe for safety, it would still be better to use them kind of intermittently.
I wonder if it's awkward getting the high bounce off of these enemies when you've got the ears, because if you press the jump button to start holding it, you're also going to flap your ears.
Right, it's always kind of a mystery. Can you hold down the jump button and get the high jump, or do you need to hit it just as you hit the enemy?
Yeah, I posited that question earlier, in anticipating this, and chat confirmed you do just hold it. But it does mean that you need to, like, pre-hold it from the last time you flapped your ears, sort of thing. Also,
yeah, that's the issue here, is that you want to float and you're mashing, but that means I found myself quite a few times ended up landing on a bird, and then I wasn't holding it because I was in the middle of mashing, and so I just kind of fell.
Trisscorp is really mashing the ears. I feel like I see Starman lose, more than this 1 pixel per flap or whatever this is. But not Trisscorp is a machine with this flapping.
Yeah, no turbo buttons here. Although I guess we allow them in PC Engine games, since there was a turbo button on the controller, but, like, I don't know. Doesn't come up that much. Uh-oh.
Oh, phew.
It's back. Nice. Trisscorp foregoing the fireball. Probably a good decision, but at the same time, like, I don't know. We're indoors now, but it seems like it's working out.
Yeah, there are spikes on the ceiling.
Makes you want to flap a little less.
After the hammer in the previous stage, I would not trust that, like, this power-up is well designed for this area specifically anymore. I would keep the bunny ears wherever I went.
And Trisscorp's doing an excellent job not losing them. There have been a lot of these little fireball enemies. Oop, there we go. A lot of these little fireball enemies, and they're hard to avoid. But then apparently Commentator's Curse can even affect things in the past, and Trisscorp immediately loses the power-up.
It's tricky. Like, this is very, Mario adjacent, so when I first saw these, I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe Bullet Bill Launcher. But, like, it doesn't have a skull on it the way that it does in those other games, right? So it wasn't immediately apparent, oh, you're about to get shot.
They also fire really quickly after they come on screen. I would say almost, like, an annoyingly quick.
Alright, Trisscorp's the boss.
Does a jump and shoots a thing.
Looks like it's throwing hairbands.
Yeah, the bosses in this game are a joke. I mean...
For now.
Second form, but I think even still.
Whoa, really aggressive stuff from Trisscorp. Oh, Shockwave all the way along the ground. That came out fast.
Yeah. You and the bosses have a lot of iframes, so if you're really aggressive, you can damage race a lot of these earlier ones. But okay, we've got
Starman's first try.
Both Super Mandew.
The boss heard you say they're a joke. That's why they went phase 2.
Yeah, the phase 2 doesn't even exist if I don't say that.
That's some anime superpower.
Yeah, being so wrong that you can change the course of the past of history, of current events. As long as you're wrong, that's the important thing.
That's just how wrong you are.
Yeah. Trisscorp finishing, picking up what looks like a Walkman.
We'll hopefully get a look at it soon from Starman. But this is I would call this like our first for sure lead change.
It looks like it's maybe one of those bosses where once you fight it once, you understand what like the tricks are that are going to kill you, and they're pretty easy to avoid after that.
Yeah.
We've got Chinese hopping vampires on Trisscorp's stream, although this time they're dressed up as little firefighters, which I have not seen before.
Is that what's going on there? I need to take another look. Oh, Starman.
Oh.
Boss's foot just clipped Starman in the air. You hang in the air at the top of your jump for kind of a while. And I think it was sort of unanticipated positioning from It's a Starman.
Mm-hmm.
It's true, you really do. Even on short jumps, you kind of just float at the peak for quite a long time. I was just watching the Super Mario Land speedrun from Games Done Quick, and really just noticing how different, like the original one, how different it is than every other Mario game that's ever been made. There are Chinese hopping vampires in that game, which we've never seen make another appearance in Mario.
I used to know the names of these things.
I think they're called Jigan-Shi. I could be wrong.
I think, yeah. I used to know them as the enemies from Ragnarok Online, but they don't use they're not called Jiangxi in that game. They're like Bongun and some other thing. And so I had this wrong impression of what they were called forever, and then recently got corrected.
It's like when Final Fantasy teaches you what a Morning Star is and makes it a chakram instead of a spiked ball on the end of a stick.
Right. I see like a policewoman outfit instead of firefighter.
Oh yeah, could be either way. It looked like a helmet, but I mean, the fidelity is low. We're in the clouds. The clouds disappear after you jump on them, but it's pretty forgiving, honestly. I've seen worse disappearing platforms.
Yes.
Yeah, that's to Skyblazer.
Digging the music.
Seems like there haven't been as many opportunities to get power-ups, especially in the cloud stage. Like, I don't think I've seen any power blocks or anything.
Yeah, really good point. The ears would be great here.
Yeah.
And you know, presumably it would be possible that they would still have them. Like, there's a really high
instead they give you the
ceiling
hammer.
in this place.
I feel like that's just mean.
Starman had the fire flower, lost it immediately. Oh, we tried to go for the run under, didn't quite get it.
There also is a run button in this game, by the way. They're constantly holding it. Walking speed is abysmal.
More games should always run and have a walk button instead.
Or for something like this, I would be okay with this just being the speed, and then run is maybe like a risky maneuver that's like really fast or like delayed or something. I don't know. I feel like generally in a game like this, you just always want to be holding run if you've ever played a video game before.
Yeah, this is real slow.
So sometimes power-ups are in unmarked blocks. The paste bin clues the players into that. I don't think I've seen anyone find a power-up in an unmarked block yet.
I feel like it's not worth it to try.
Oh, Trisscorp got completely in his own head with this bird right in front of him. Just,
he was looking at it for a while. Walked right in. We've got
it's 3-1 clear for
Kiki's delivery service, but this time with explosives. the little known sequel to the Studio Ghibli classic.
So how are the players supposed to hit those P blocks that are on the ground? Like, there's no turtle shells that I see. The hammer.
I think. Yeah.
There we go. So that's how you get the bunny ears. You get the hammer, then you hit the P block on the ground, and that's your reward.
Oh, you're probably right.
The hammer's got to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one more power-up that we're going to see.
Oh, nice skip from Starman. Wait, it's continuing to go left, though. Okay, that gets the idea now. It's going the right way.
Which I never even got in my playthrough of this.
Yeah, the last power-up, yeah. I like that you called it Burger Flipper. We'll see what it... I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's maybe not the most accurate description, but it's not like... it's not bad. Oh, I didn't even talk about... You have a high jump that you do if you duck first. And then jump, you do a little high jump. Rarely used,
like
because obviously it's
out,
slower
right?
to duck than to keep moving, but I used it a few times to try and get up to, like, platforms where there were things. Oh, is the high jump in SMB2 also? I didn't know that. Oh, yeah. No, you don't have to hold it like in SMB2, though. I know. Yeah. I was still thinking 6 golden coins.
Trisscorp looks like they just maybe tried it? Can they hear you from the past, too?
Yeah,
getting
absolutely. Weird. No, the reason I mentioned it is because Trisscorp did it maybe on accident. It makes it.
Okay.
You have like little sparks that fly from under your feet when you do it.
I'm the kind of clumsy D-padder that will, when going from left to right, get like an up or down input mixed in there. So it's trouble for me when those do things in games. What I'm saying is it wouldn't have taken me long to get this accidental crouch jump.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the pace bin. It's just the kind of thing where it's like not that much higher. It's kind of like Troddlers we saw the other day, where it's not like you're jumping, you know, it's not making a massive difference, but if you feel like you're maybe not going to make a jump.
You already jump pretty high, like,
yeah.
It's basically touching the top of the screen from basically the bottom of the screen.
It's true. The UI is screen real estate, though. Taking another cue out of Mario's bag, I suppose. A cue out of the bag? Yeah, whatever. Mixing metaphors a little bit. I guess that's what we do.
I keep my cue cards in a bag and I just pull them out and read whatever comes out.
Oh, another fire up there.
Oh, awkward situation for Trisscorp. And a stage clear for Starman.
The firepower, like, visual indicator is just that you wear a sweater, which is cool.
Unless SF Fireball's coming out, I don't think I would have even noticed.
And a sweater covers your rib cage.
there we go.
Think about it.
Thanks for closing the loop on that one.
Yeah, no problem.
Me nuts.
No problem.
See, there's a secret block Trisscorp finds, but it's just points. Where's the good stuff? Oh, Starman jumps out really early, gets caught on the ceiling. Couldn't make it happen.
Whoa, okay.
Whoa. Okay, power up gone. Almost, like, destroyed the vampire with 4 shots point blank. And then, like, stayed between the 2 waves of bullets. It would have been incredible.
So in this game, you go straight from 3rd level power up back to 1. And not back to 2 and then a 3rd hit sends you, or 2nd hit sends you back.
I forget which Mario games do which.
Mario
really
1 sends you all the way back. I know SMB 1.
Oh, there's that same bit of trouble for Starman. Able to jump out of the pit this time, though.
I like these little crows. They're funny.
They're ninjas now. Totally different from before. They've trained. These little hopping rice balls are now samurai. Look out for their deadly attacks.
But the police women are still just police women.
It's
No
true.
changes.
Well, they gotta catch all these ninjas running around.
They hopped all the way across the ocean from China to Japan.
That's right.
It was a big hop.
So look at this.
Oh,
They
you can hit
nice.
these floating
yeah.
shurikens. I wouldn't think you could.
And you get
It
this
looks like
the
it hits the
bowling
enemies,
ball.
too.
Like it's just good here.
Yeah.
It's been interesting to see how the players approach the bullet bills on the auto scroller here, and in general, I guess. But
the
like,
crow, the crow ball. I love it. Oh, here we go. Burger flipping.
there it is. Look at all those burgers. There's one burger, then it's onigiri, and
Yeah,
it's a sandwich.
jelly donut. I'm sure. Yeah, but the hammer's the only thing that can destroy these shurikens. So I mean, this has the
Yeah.
range, but Trisscorp would have gotten through this section faster with the hammer.
Yeah. He's gonna go back to the hammer. There we go.
Into a
Oh,
boss
before the
fight.
boss. I wonder
Oh,
if.
he's way up on the ceiling where burgers could have hit him.
Oh yeah.
Oh well.
Can maybe hit these shurikens back.
Whoa.
It might be a little risky for a blind race, but it's probably possible. You get right up in there.
I didn't realize that the mechanics were different between Western and Japanese Super Mario Bros. 3. That you get knocked all the way down to the first one, your lowest power level in the Japanese version when you get hit.
Oh!
Today I learned. Starman clear the auto scroller. Trisscorp right at the end of the next level though. Still has the hammer. Not that it's good for much.
Achievement unlocked. In-game achievement.
Was that
Got
a
a
virtual
Virtual
boy?
boy.
Okay.
In a retro game store that I went to when I was in Japan, they had a Virtual Boy just like set up there.
Did you try it?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Ooh.
It's just as bad as everybody says it is.
Oh, look at this bird.
Oh,
it's doing
man.
such work for Trisscorp.
Not fast enough. I'm walking ahead of the bird. World 4 is where the game pulls out all the stops. It is the final world, but I would say deserving of being the final world as well.
Annoying bullet bills just barely launch at the edge of the screen. Trisscorp gonna wait for them to go by. Not stopping for nothing.
Does anyone want to, like, hypothesize on what these
Ooh.
lumps say on them? I
Looks
thought it was like
1
a
ton?
weight.
Oh yeah. Who knows?
1 ton, and then but there's like 4 other symbols that I'm not expecting to
Yeah.
see, and I...
One Toho, that's right. One ton megawatt. They're electric weights.
Yeah, there's 1 Toho Maurice in there. Ooh.
Oh, that's a pit. That's not a floor.
I think Trisscorp was trying to make it over the pit, but with the conveyor belt, kind of hard.
I think Starman's on the last cycle for that boss.
Yeah, I saw him jump on the boss, and then the boss was gone, and I was like, did they do it? I forget. The boss disappears all the time. I can't tell.
Yeah. I think that's the last one.
Oh, the achievement would pop
Oh.
up. Yeah, it's still alive.
So many rounds.
Luckily, Starman is avoiding everything.
Yes, did a good job. I think they didn't have any power-ups going into the fight. They picked up an apple just before, so they were. I think they actually ran through a bit of the like the star maze without a power-up too. So good on them for getting through that.
It's to keep that power up going into the next stage.
That's right.
Oh, gotta jump.
I
off
don't
the
know.
bullet bill.
We haven't had the players die a whole lot, but there are. Well, this is the high jump there. Trisscorp just did.
Oh,
There are a lot of checkpoints in these levels, which you go back to when you reach them. Then there's no limited lives.
This is like cosmetic bullet bills that just sort of
yeah.
aren't actually a thing.
Yeah, if you were too slow, they would come back up and hit you like that. But Trisscorp is not slow.
Now I wonder if you can you jump on them if they are pointed up.
I wondered about that the whole time I was playing this game, but was always too scared to try it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a huge advantage to doing it, but that's another one of those things I wonder about.
This game isn't afraid to put enemies right next to the goal. Like there was a bird that chased Trisscorp away from it on a previous level, and this time there was fire just orbiting the finish block.
We've got this
I like
Mario
this
World wall, or ceiling, I suppose.
Yeah, I like this mechanic with the kind of add some urgency to getting to the next block.
If I remember right, by the end of this level, I was actually having a really hard time getting to these arrows fast enough. But I can't remember if it was just me or if the level was actually hard. We'll have to see.
Oh, it looks like you can only hit them once. You can't go back to them again. They're spent.
Yeah, you gotta keep moving. I guess you might not have had this fireball power up, which is kind of changing things a little bit.
It's true. I think there's a section where you have to jump on some crows, and it's hard not to jump too high and still make it.
Excellent
Trisscorp
control.
Masterfully doing it, yeah. Taking one hit, but that's okay.
If you're gonna take a hit, that seems like the spot to do it.
Oh, right there. Yep, there it is.
Oh.
That happened to me like 5 times in a row. I don't think it will happen to Trisscorp 5 times in a row, but this was a big sticking point when I was playing this.
I'm doing pretty well in 4-1.
Wow, skips one of the up blocks and gets it.
Somehow didn't get hit there.
Oh man. This might have the collision thing where just if you're moving down, you stomp the enemy. Oh, okay.
Hope that doesn't slow him down too much.
Go, 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 go. There's a power up. It's a 1-up. There's the goal.
Turns back for the 1-up. That's good, you know.
Maybe on
good
normal
form.
mode you actually have lives, and on race mode you don't.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because there are no lives, so 1-up is like meaningless. I don't know what that means.
Whatever it is, it's up now by 1.
Core. He had 23, 24, 34 before.
It's a Starman been on this checkpoint for a while. I did really well on the previous checkpoint that Trisscorp struggled with, but is not really gaining much time. In fact, I think maybe has lost even a little bit more at this point. Oh, nice low road path from Trisscorp, but abandons it.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a shortcut in this stage where you can actually get over this wall here and skip having to kind of do a little bit of a going around thing that Trisscorp over that wall if you use
the bullet
enemies
bill,
to jump
maybe.
over it.
I'm surprised you didn't go back to the power up there.
Yeah, the levels have gotten hard enough that I would respect them enough to want to power up.
Not even
Blind
going
jump,
for that.
just goes for it. There are spikes there.
Just
Oh, the crouch
barely
jump.
getting the high
Ooh.
jump in time.
You aren't kidding about the iframes. There are a lot.
Yeah, I had enough time to do a bad jump and then be like, oh, I should do this jump instead. Whoa, whoa, Starman almost jumping up into the spikes instead of hitting the block.
I like Trisscorp ducking in front of the flame. There was no point, but it made it look like he was scared, which it was a nice little, nice little flavor to the race.
The way Trisscorp is playing, I suspect that he is scared.
Yeah, I wonder. Has died a few times, you know?
Yeah, these sort of sky stages are always scary ones in a platformer.
Oh, I'm wondering if you could jump off of the bullet bill, like inside the spikes, and just go straight across.
Or even just rely on the iframes to like get you to the other side.
I think I definitely attempted to jump across those spikes. I don't remember if I was successful or not, but if I were playing this, I definitely would have just jumped and hoped.
Fire looks like it always starts after it's scrolled on screen in a reliable way, and so Trisscorp knows as long as I keep moving, I'm gonna beat the fire, and has just not been deterred at all by it.
This section is tricky. You have to manage your jump height. Luckily, Trisscorp had one hit going into it, so... Ooh.
Yeah, figure it out.
Okay.
Use the one hit to figure it out, and then just nailed it the rest of the way.
Level clear 4-2 from It's a Starman. Technically gonna be very, very briefly on the same level as Trisscorp clears 4-3, heading into the final stage.
And I have no idea who wins, so this is very exciting for me too.
This last stage is really something. It's really long, and it's got a cool final stage feel to it. They throw each of the power-ups at you in like areas designed for the power-up.
Yeah. Something that... Well, maybe we haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to spoil, but Starman sort of discovers something that I never discovered, that Trisscorp I don't think ever discovers either, and that's that you can get the Burger Flipper power-up from the Burger Flipper enemy.
Yeah, which is just like not a thing in Mario. Like it's a Kirby thing, I guess, or I can understand why it would be weird. There's no fire enemy that you can get a fire power-up from.
As far as I know. Because I never even got the Burger Flipper power up the whole time. Yeah, if you use the ears well, you have no issues with this stage, and we know Trisscorp has the mashing power. Ooh, but there's the problem. You're mashing too much. Holding the button starts to feel weird to your muscle memory, and you don't do it.
Starman,
but yeah, Starman just did it.
Power up. Didn't want to give it up. Didn't even want to look inside the block. Doesn't care what's in there.
Starman didn't try the high jump. Maybe just forgot that it existed. Wouldn't surprise me. It's a weird mechanic, and it's not super useful.
I mean, it seemed like they were just trying to get out as fast as they could, which seems like a natural thing to do if you're in a pit of spikes. Just be to keep jumping to try to get out. Didn't think to take the time to slow down to do the high jump.
Trisscorp lost the fire power up, and that's not really an option. There's a lot of enemies that are just like in your way, and there's no space to jump over them or anything. Oh, if you move forwards, you throw the fire further.
Oh yeah, you actually can just walk right up to the edge, and it's far enough. But I do like that little noticing that.
I like that Starman took the time to defeat the Burger Flipper so that they could take the power. It took an extra, few seconds, but I think it's probably worth it.
It really has
a
a high
ranged attack
opinion
is
of the
always
burger
nice.
power.
Ooh, tight jump, but we're good there. Not failing. So this is the ultimate section, which I was on for maybe 8 minutes. I was on this section for a really long time, just because of this part here, where you have to stop just early enough to not get hit by the thwomp or the bullet bills.
So what I saw on Starman's screen was that they used the Burger Flipper power to actually destroy the thwomps. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw earlier.
Yeah, and that's what you're supposed to do here. You're supposed to kill that guy, get the burger power up from him, and then you can just walk through with the burger power up. But I didn't know that. Trisscorp doesn't know that. Let's see if they're a better gamer than me and they don't spend 8 minutes here.
Starman on 4-3 can take a hit, but doesn't have that burger power up. Oh, hesitated a little bit, still able to get clear of the fire.
I like this. This is where things are getting exciting. Like, there's a chance for Starman to catch up. Like,
yeah, I mean,
conveyor belt section is so
this
tight.
is strong knowledge to have for this section for sure.
yeah, and I mean, up to this point, it seemed like Trisscorp was just pretty steadily moving through everything.
That same part of the control your height section got It's a Starman, but also had that hit to take. I think this is going to be 4-3 clear. Just don't die to this fire.
Yeah. Whew.
But 4-4 is a long stage. Is so carefully manipulating the camera to spawn the bullet bills in when necessary.
Yeah. And has gotten through, but this section is far from over.
God, those are tight.
No.
The left-right identified if I just jump right up to the right, I'm gonna touch the spikes on the side. So it went left to sort of get some running room, some space, and still touch the spikes from the side.
I do think you need to do the tall jump to make it over the spikes.
See if Trisscorp has recognized this.
Ooh. Little early.
Yeah, first tried those jumps, but those are tight.
It seems like it would be so mean to like not really force you to use the high jump until the very last level near the end of a challenging section. Like, hey, hope you remembered this.
Yeah, I know, it's a little silly. It's not the most well thought out mechanic for sure. I used it on there over those 3 also because I was just scared of touching them, but it looks like you don't have to.
Here we go. There it
There
is.
we go.
That's it.
If you don't have to use it, it's at least a lot more comfortable that way.
Yeah.
Checkpoint. Your choice of all the power-ups, and Trisscorp is
Goes
like,
with the
what is
burger."
this? It's like, burgers? Hello? Okay.
Yeah, that might be the first time that Trisscorp's ever had the burger flipping power-up, actually. Maybe he had it for a little bit earlier. Okay, here we've got Starman on the hardest section of the game, caught up pretty effectively.
Oh, dies to the burger enemy.
His greatest ally.
Really good jumps from Trisscorp. Barely avoiding those.
Is that an
spike
Xbox?
shields. Now we've got Starman with the burger flip, and look at that, this section is free.
Oh, it kills the bullet bills too? Oh, wow. Alright, so here comes It's a Starman. This race is not over, by the way. There is a final boss. Apologies for not making that clear immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a doozy. It is not easy. Okay, so it's a GameCube and a Virtual Boy and an Xbox. And then whatever that is. A Wonder Swan, a Game Gear.
GBA,
Wait,
maybe.
man.
I think it's just a badly drawn GBA.
Look at this guy.
There he is.
Starman got that one jump with the without the high jump. I just want to point that out. It was a very close jump.
Ooh.
But also first tried that section that that was like
Yeah.
the biggest sticking point for me and for Trisscorp. Not as big as for me, but
This is getting close.
So this boss, you
reminds
can't
me...
jump on him.
Yeah, I think what you need to do is jump on the hands.
You gotta get a power up and hit him.
Oh, that's
You gotta
right,
just
that's
wait.
right. Forgot
And every time you get hit, you need more power-ups, so... It's kind of a long, prolonged fight.
Are the old bosses coming in to give you power-ups? Like,
Yeah.
they're your friends now? Okay, cool. It's one of those.
I'm not sure what you've done, but this boss reminds me a lot of the boss from Kirby Superstar.
Oh, yeah.
The little stone guy who always looked like a pineapple to me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Trisscorp got the hammer and gave him a couple blows to the chin, but there's like a counter attack that happens after like a certain amount of time or a certain number of hits. He shoots eye lasers out.
I think they're about to be on the same boss at the same time.
And this is it. This is the final. I mean, it says at the top of this. It's not 4-4 anymore. This is stage final.
Yeah, so you know, when you're on stage final... So when I was watching this the first time, I thought, well, this is over. Starman is coming in with the burger flipper power-up. We're done. But
The unstoppable burger flipping power.
You do have to have the hammer, and that's the only thing that works here.
So the big thing that I think you want to watch out for, a lot of these attacks you can react to it. Hand goes up, it takes a while to go up and then slam down. Hand goes in for the punch, it takes a while, but the hand that sweeps right across the bottom that you need to jump over, that is fast. That's the one that you should prioritize watching out for and being ready to react to. The rest, I think you can kind of manage. Trisscorp gets pincered in the air. The boss moving faster, I think an indication of being low on health. Yeah, there's Starman getting grabbed by that bottom sweep. I gotta wonder if it's possible to dodge the eye lasers.
Yeah.
Oh, Starman threw in a jump there unnecessarily. Got caught at the top of the screen where those hands are. Basically don't want to jump unnecessarily. It is tempting to sort of pre-jump over a hand that might sweep across the bottom because it's so tight, but there's just so many ways it can go wrong.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to jump when you should have ducked.
Just like that, Trisscorp gets caught.
Ooh, trying for the tall jump, which probably works, but you'd have to be really tight on that timing.
Starman got 2 hits and then the eye lasers came out, so I think it's like a timed thing. Starman just caught by the sweep. Trisscorp is pretty good about reacting to it. Oh, but then missed the hammer, went back for it, got caught by the pound. You really want to be in the middle of the screen. If you're at the edge, and that's where a sweep starts, you have so little time to react to it. 4 hammer hits for Starman. I have no idea how much health the boss has. Hammer in hand for Trisscorp also gets... Oh, I think that was 5 hits.
Trying to see which boss is moving faster. It looks like Starman, 2-hand attacks are coming out for Starman.
Trisscorp as well.
Yeah, wow.
This boss is low health for both players. Starman has no power-ups. Trisscorp is halfway there. Here's jump the sweep. Hammer in hand. Trisscorp has done it. 50-50 is the time. Hammer drops for Starman. Final hit for Starman.
Wow.
Yeah.
They finish 5 seconds apart.
That's a good race.
51 minutes to finish by 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really could have gone either way right up until the end.
You can see the like even just the way the credits are rolling up, you can see just how close it is. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, probably very frustrating for Starman if you're watching this after the fact, but very fun to watch. Thank you.
Yeah, I told them, like, all right, hold on while I double check these VODs, because this is so close I have to double check. But yeah, everyone seemed to be in good spirits. Just, you know, races this close don't generally happen, especially races this long.
Yeah.
So everyone was just kind of appreciative of a cool thing that happened.
In general, though, I thought this game was pretty good. And they've beaten the Colorless curse. Now the color is back.
Which is, I really like the metaphor, but it's also like a shame that your whole game has no color when it could have color.
It's very true.
Special thanks to the Good Job Club. Trisscorp is now a member of the Good Job Club. Good job, Trisscorp. Honestly,
Absolutely.
both players should be, though. Good job to both players. Well,
So-
that match took exactly 50 minutes and 49 seconds. Oh, Trisscorp is here to talk. Look at that.
Oh,
I'm going to grab him. Hello? I haven't heard you yet.
Hello?
Hello.
God, that was close match.
Yeah.
So I guess walk me through the reaction, I guess, when you done, and then you're looking, your eyes are on race chat because you just typed it, and then the second one comes in.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fuck.
pretty much. You sound like you just did it, like it, like it just happened.
yeah. I'm like looking at the match and I see the burger power was defeating the Crushers. I'm just like
Oh yeah.
little bit annoying that it was so easy with it.
It makes sense in retrospect too, right? Like all the other areas where you kind of needed the fire flower to kill the guys in the narrow corridor. Like everything was designed around having a power up.
Yeah, I have to tell myself not to be stupid and just walk into enemies.
I mean, yeah,
I
I
genuinely,
never... The Burger Man took like 4 hits or like 3 jumps to
Yeah.
kill, so it makes sense to just go right past him. That's what I did every time.
I never killed one, so I had no idea.
and there's nothing else like that in the game. There's no, bunny rabbit you can jump on to get its ears or anything.
The bunny like carrot power up is like really annoying to use. You have to mash really fast to get it optimal like distance and stuff like that. So it's just like I kind of don't want to use it, but I really have to.
But it's
You
good
seem
though.
like you're
It's
using
really
it
good.
well.
Yeah, I have to mash. Well, the good thing is like you have a run button, but for some reason when you're in the air, you don't need to hold run. So
Oh,
that helped with the mashing. So when I discovered that, I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this.
yeah. In general, Ghost or It's a Starman was like not worrying so much about mashing so hard, and so would kind of, was not optimal and would lose height sometimes. So you were you were really going for it.
Played like Mario Land 2, so that game is just it's a little bit more. Don't have to mash much, so it's just like, God, why did it make it so annoying?
Well, overall, did you think the game was annoying or fun?
It's kind of like the first Super Mario Land game. It's kind of like really weird physics and kind of weird in some places.
Mhm.
It kind of follows the same theme, like you're in a temple at one point.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, in the first world.
An Egyptian like Mario Land. You go for an Egyptian like temple, and then you go to like a Japanese like feudal era place and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It
no underwater
really,
section though.
yeah, no planes level and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's true. No vehicles.
there's also the final boss also annoyed me because like I was like so close to defeating him, and I'm just like, oh, the hands are coming down. He's gonna do the sweeping move on the ground, and I'm just like jump, and it's just like the punch, and I'm just getting hit
Oh,
in midair.
double punched in the air. Yeah, we saw that a couple times.
I got really baited by that. I think Boyland 3 like taught me like in Boyland 3 you're always safe when you high jump over the hands that come from the final boss. So I'm like, this is gonna
Oh,
work every time. It's just like it's in my like memory to do that, but it doesn't work in this game.
yeah. Normally, knowledge of similar games is very helpful, but I guess every now and then, because it's not that game you're playing, it can work against you.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. You move on in the winners bracket. I already moved you on just a little bit ago, so I should know where you are in here, but I'm having trouble tracking you down.
Well,
Bacon Man 12. That's your next opponent.
okay. The funny thing is, both Starman and I are gonna have cruiser matches tomorrow too. So
Ooh. Well, good luck in those. I gotta say though, I'm a little bit rooting for you to lose at some point, because if you do, this entire part of the bracket you're in generates a new player for top 8. You stand between all of them in their hopes of getting in there.
you're so rude.
Well, you're just gonna have to prove me wrong. Shut the door on all of them, I guess.
Yeah. I am the cockroach king after all.
Well, thank you so much for coming to talk to us. Best of luck in your matches here and also elsewhere, Kuso and all that.
Yeah. Have a good night. Good morning. What time is it?
Yeah, it must be pretty late over there.
Yeah.
Or
It's
early.
like very late. I'm hopping off. See you.
Bye.
Goodbye.